Shalom, shalom. Yes, sir. We back again at it. Man, this is the first time we doing a stream on the Little Brother channel. Um, so I don't know if everybody got the memo, but we gonna get it popping, man. We gonna get it popping. Um, they'll probably have to get the replay. But anyway, shalom for those that's gonna glance on the video. Shalom for the shalom to everybody out there that just went through this hellish work week. Um, all praises for making it here, gathering here together. Hey, shalom. I was afraid no one was gonna know. We on the Little Brother channel. I'm gonna kick it off a little early, but we got a good one though. We got a good one. How's everything? How's everything? And can I be heard? I'll ask that one more time. I'll just, a new device. So I just want to make sure I can be heard and nothing is done in vain. So if you could put a 1 in the chat for me, sister, I'll keep on rocking. And we could do that. We'll be on this one until next Shabbat, next Friday. Okay, Kai, yeah. So we'll be on this one next Shabbat. If Chief Priest do a class or a Q&A, we'll do it on this one. And then most high willing, we can stream on the other one too by next week. So that's why we had a little confusion. I know, yes, last Shabbat I could have did it, but I just misunderstood the error. So that's my fault on that. But anyway, we got a good one. My thing is, I know we got a new administration and they ain't really playing with all that DEI stuff, but where did the pride go? Where did this Pride Month go? Because I'm looking, what is it, the 6th? I haven't really got bombarded with no advertisements, if you know what I'm saying. The Google logo is the regular, right? The StreamYard logo ain't got a rainbow on it. The YouTube logo ain't got nothing on it. A couple of years ago, it was everywhere, wasn't it? They was bombarding us with all of this, right? So, but anyway, we want to give all honor and praises to the Most High and His Son Yahweh Shai for gathering us here together. And that's what we're gonna do, man. We're gonna keep on fighting until we get the kingdom. Every day is gonna be a struggle, every day is gonna be a fight, but here we are. So it's a blessing just to be able to wake up today, to come in that spirit, to give y'all something out of my heart, man. And thank you for the donation of your time. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for your diligence out there. And hopefully this class is meant for you. Hopefully it can touch a couple of nerves for some of us, But hey, Ashar Shabbat. Ashar Shabbat, man. And just like that, the Sabbath comes, isn't it? Just like that. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. Nah, but before you got on, Mother Bathai, I was just saying, like, man, where did the Pride Month go for Esau? I don't see no logos. I don't see none of that advertisement going on. But anyway, the rainbow was a promise. The rainbow was a promise. Obviously, our enemy, and our enemies, at this point in time, they desecrated that symbol. They desecrated it. For them, it means something entirely different. Now the world thinks of it as something entirely different, right? So we're just gonna get everything straight now. So I'm gonna go with my book tonight. I gotta break it in. I got a new Bible. All praises. Got the Apocrypha up in it. So I'm gonna get this thing out for a spin. But I'll repeat though. So I'm gonna go to Genesis 9 and 13 to get what the rainbow was all about. All right. Since we're in that month. Since we're gonna be in that month, all right. Might as well get out ahead, right? Instead of playing catch up. Might as well get out ahead instead of playing catch up. But like I said, man, did the Pride Month hide? And what was the rainbow really about? And the rainbow was not theirs. And it's a shame because you would want to wear something technicolor like that. I know Jacob had a technicolor robe, you know, and it's more than just a symbol. But let's get it first. Let's get it first before we go on. You got me a little scripts, right? But Genesis 9 and 13. And I read. Let's start at verse. Let's see here. Let's start at verse 8. And the Most High spake unto Noah and his sons with him, saying, And I, behold, I will establish my covenant with you, and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, for that all that go out of the ark to every beast in the earth. So this is after the flood. And I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off anymore by the waters of a flood. So the Most High is saying right here that he's not going to flood the whole earth. He might flood, a region or an area. Shoot, there was There was a glacier that melted, or I think in like the Swiss Alps or something like that. The snow had melted off and the whole town underneath it that flooded. So that's still happening. All right. So don't be simple out there. So there's still going to be floods and tempests and everything to show his wrath and to show that he's coming. Right. And to show that he's upset with the earth. And it's a shame because half the reason why he's upset with the earth is he's upset with us. Because we're going to be judged first. So we got to hold ourselves accountable first. And the reason for all these things happening, man, because we fell out of line. We fell out of line and we were disobedient. And now we here, down on our luck. We were here down on our luck. And that's why all these things are happening in the earth. Right? As in the times of Noah, we in these same times now, right? And one of them is this so-called Pride Month. We can see it after the rains, especially on the summer in the lake. That's right. We could still see it. We could still see it out there. And that's how you know he hasn't failed us. And that's how you know he's more than just a man. Because he's still tried and true. That rainbow still goes on, because once he says something, man, that thing is set in motion. That thing's set in motion. Verse 12, and the Most High said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. What is perpetual? That means nonstop. That means it's not going to break. That means generation after generation. That means indefinite, an indefinite amount of time. Okay, so we don't have to worry about the earth flooding. Okay, but in Isaiah 66, we're going to have to worry about that fire, though. All right, we have to worry about that fire. But that's not in this class. Maybe the next one. But this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud, right? Where there's a rainbow, it's always, right, when you draw a picture of a rainbow, you draw a cloud and then you actually draw the rainbow coming down, right? That's kind of how we used to do it as kids, right? When you say draw a rainbow, see a picture of a rainbow, it's always coming out of the cloud. Okay? Or it's in a cloudy back setting. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. All right. And it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. Huh? And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. So he made it for the animals to see it too. That's pretty deep, man. It's not just for me and you, but it's for all these living creatures out here. So that when they glance upon it, they know that there ain't gonna be no flood. That's powerful, man. That's powerful. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between the Most High and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth, man. So that's the bow right there. Sorry for getting in all into the camera, but that's the bow. But that's what they do, man. They make a straight thing crooked. You know, they make things that are seeming unseemly, beautiful or unbeautiful. That is not theirs. Turn something to beautiful, make it ugly. And that's what they do, man. That's deception. That's deceiving. That's diabolical. That's devilish. But they're just doing what they're made here to do on this earth. They're just doing they're just doing their job. And we got to do our job too, which is to be righteous. Yeah, so make something beautiful, make it ugly. Maybe they will not have that pride BS anymore. Hopefully not, because I'm tired of that being perpetuated on our people. And we'll get into that too. Yo, happy Sabbath. Happy Shabbat. It's Cry Princess Go. What's going on? The president said God made man and women, and Trump is attacking their evilness. Come. Yeah, he got some bigger fish to fry too. I know his name on the Epstein list and everything like that. And just for a second, remember when I brought out that class last Friday and I told y'all about Elon and him having that request? I hope that man, that Herod the Blonde, aka Trump, I hope that he understands that, man. You had this white man who's barely American. You had him over here telling you that there was a genocide going on in South Africa. You believed him. You brought over the black president of South Africa. You humiliated him with all that nonsense. And then what did Elon do? He turned his back on you, man. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? You do a white man a favor, and he will still do that to you, man. So hopefully he's paying attention and taking notes. Now, I think that they fell out because they got rid of all of his funding for his electric vehicles and whatnot, and he got into a hissy fit. But that's just me. But anyway, sounds like a bit of divorce, but it's golden. Yeah, man. But that's what I'm saying. Like us, we ain't gonna do that. Unfortunately, we ain't gonna do that. We as loyal as a dog, man. We wouldn't do that to that man. That man got his little key, got his little wish list of things that he wanted to do, and he still backstabbed that man. Even these so-called white people can't stand these white people, man. Let's keep it a buck. They can't stand each other, man. And a house divided will not stand, man. And this house called America is divided as all get out. And it ain't going to stand for too much longer, man. Because people is getting tired of it. Talk about black fatigue. Black fatigue. You got to be kidding me, man. We got America fatigue. We got police fatigue. We got tax fatigue. We got IRS fatigue. Shoot. Some of us got court fatigue, court fee fatigue, discrimination fatigue. Talk about fatigue. How dare y'all? And half of it is our people, right? Half of it is our people, right? Man. But anyway, but let's talk about this pride, man. Man on man, that's a no-go. That's a no-go, right? And we all know the scripts for that, but let's get it, man. Let's get one. I ain't gonna get the one in Romans, I'll paraphrase it. But let's set the record straight, man, on this month. On this month that they desecrated. And now this whole dang month is an abomination. Leviticus. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 18, verses. Hold on 1 second. Oh, 1 second, y'all. Man. 20. Okay, 20. That was the other one. 13, 20, 13. It's like, yeah. Oh, man. Right, so this is Leviticus, the book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and 13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them has committed an abomination, and they shall surely be put to death, and their blood shall be upon them. Right? So that's what this is talking about. Hold on, let me go back. Sound like a divorce. Yeah, hold on, let me see. This is King James. Just want to see if I got I got 22, that's why. See, new Bible, man. New Bible. I'm like, wait, what? Hold on. Let's get it again, though. Yeah. Okay. I was like, wait, what? Right. So these laws, remember now, I said a long time ago, man, these laws were written for us. And ain't nobody else know about it. So there were people out here that were doing these certain things, right? Like if we read up, and the man who committed adultery with another man's wife, right? People were doing that. People were lying with incest, right? People were sleeping with their brothers. People were sleeping with their sisters. These other nations out there. So that's why we are a truly righteous and set apart and holy people, because we have laws for sexual immorality. The same laws in America that go against that, they get promoted to us, promoted to our children. It's a little quiet now, right? Because there's a different administration. But man, let them Democrats get back up in there. It's going to turn up again. And they might make things in law. All right? They might make things in law with that. All right? Even if a man, like verse 15, if a man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death. Right? But there's other nations out there that do that. Right? That so-called white woman a freak, boy. She do that. They do that. All right? They probably do that still to this day. All right? Doing all types of things with that peanut butter. I ain't gonna get too graphic and get flagged now. All right. But like I said, Leviticus 20, so I get 20 and 13. I had to check my Bible, like, hold on, is this the King James Version? 20 and 13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination and surely be put to death, man. So that's a death-worthy sin, man. Now we have grace, so we can get up out of that, and that lifestyle is hard to get up into. Now, we do have this thing, this internet now. So we have to be very careful with our children, right? Because they're a device away. They're a device away from seeing some of these disgusting acts now. This stuff is not behind a paywall anymore, and it doesn't take forever to load up. So it could really do some damage to our children. So we have to be careful. We have to be hands-on. If we can't homeschool and we have the time, we should, because it takes all it takes is a little freaky girl or a little freaky boy or a high schooler, right, versus a grade schooler to show these things to corrupt the mind. Because a lot of times you hear these stories of these people that are probably going to march in that in that Pride Month march or that Gay Pride parade, and they'll probably tell you stuff like this. All right. A lot of this stuff is a learned behavior. It's a learned behavior. Now, I couldn't get the video, but there's a Marine out there, there's a black man, so-called black man, so-called Jake. There's a Jake out there that was saying that he was at war in Afghanistan. He was at war in Afghanistan, and they were doing things with each other so much with little boys. They were doing that unseemly act. And they had to get them, they had to separate them, because they were doing it so much while they were out in war in Afghanistan. And he said it so blunt and so clearly and so clean too. I really want to get that clip, but I just ran out of time, so I couldn't get it. Now, when you talk about that, what they were doing, that's actually a thing. It's actually a thing with the Afghans. Yeah, I'm on the Arabs today. So you so-called Jewishes, you Amaleks, you Amalekites, right? You small hats, y'all should be, yeah, get them. So I shouldn't be getting no strikes for this. All right, shouldn't be getting no strikes for this one. But it's called Baka Bazi. Okay, I'll pull it up. Hold on, I'll pull it up. Well, hold on, I'm working with this tablet, but it's called Baka Bazi. I'll put it in the chat, and then y'all can look it up. I'll put it in the chat, and then y'all can look it up. Hold on, let me see. I gotta do this. Ooh. Yeah, right. How about that? Now I got the keyboard. All right, how about that? So Baka Bazi. Let's look that up. We don't really have to go nowhere. We could just do it like that. Watch this, man. This is it, man. This is it. Now we're gonna get into what these folks might look like too as well. But just in the Wikipedia, I didn't get it from there. I don't like using Wikipedia, but you can see it. You can see it, man. You can see it. All right. Boys, what did it say? February 27th. February 27th, 2025. What in the Allah Akbar is going on? No wonder why he's blasting y'all into oblivion. No wonder why he's blasting y'all into oblivion, man. In Afghanistan, Baka Bazi, the exploitation of young boys as dancers and sexual slaves remains widespread. Pashtun. We're going to get that Pashtun too. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. Hold on. We're going to get them. We're going to break this thing down. Hold on. Pashtun. Pashtun people. All right. Where is that? Look at this. Look at this. And no, it is disgusting. It's a disgusting lewd act. And I did not know that this was going on. I did not know. I was kind of shocked, because I know that, I thought that they got stoned for doing that. At least Shia law. I know they got Sunni and they got Shia, but I didn't know that they was doing that. So, and this is, and I'm going to break down some Alexander the Greek too. And we're going to get into that as well. But I think it was more so a learned custom. I'm going out on a limb, but I'm thinking that it was more a learned custom. I even asked the Chat GPT if it was a learned custom, and they kind of came to the conclusion that it might have been. Right? We talk about the AI, might like, hey, that might be, it might have been the so-called white man. Yo, it's funny, man. This Chat GPT stuff is funny. It is very funny. Now, with that stuff, it just compiles a lot of information into nice brief sentences, and they give you the sources. So it does reduce the study time. So it is kind of cool too. But you'll be surprised what it come up with now. You'll be surprised, man. That Chat GPT is funny, boy. But Bakabazi, man, and little boys, man. That's crazy. I just never would have thought. Never would have thought it. Never would have thought it. But anyway, let's get and the people that are really perpetuating this are called the Pashtun people. All right. So let's get this. So we're gonna stop the screen. We're gonna present again. We're gonna present again. And boom. Don't that look? Who is that? Got that red hair? Huh? Got that red hair? Got that red hair? Where you get that red hair from? We know in Genesis who was red and hairy all over. Look at this. Got them different colored eyes. Looking like a Greek Middle Eastern person. Looking like a Greek Middle Eastern person. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's absolutely crazy. Ain't that something? Ain't that a trip? Esau, exactly. That's dang Esau. But let's get some scripts though. Let's get no. Let's keep in order. Let's keep in order. I'm gonna give you this one too. Let's connect the dots. Alexander. I like that one. I like that one. This isn't the best one, but I like it though. So let's stop the screen. Let's do this. Let's stop the screen. Let's do this one. So this is where he conquered. This is where Alexander the Greek conquered these areas. Okay. Now, since I've researched it ahead of time, the Afghans live here. Afghanistan is around here. It even says Hindu Kush right here. So Afghanistan is in this area, and it's still a mountainous region. And you know what's funny? You know what's funny about this one though is that America. See, this is it, right? This is his routes, right? Which is his routes. But it's funny, this mountainous region he doesn't really go into. This mountainous region. And you know what's funny? Because America, we cannot fight people on the mountains. We cannot fight people on the mountains. We had to pull out of Afghanistan. No, we did. We had to pull out of Afghanistan. And we had to get out of town with the Vietnamese because they were fighting underground. And we couldn't handle that either. Greatest military power in the world. Can't fight nobody in no dang mountains. And can't fight anybody underground. Isn't that something? They better get it together because the Most High coming to destroy them. Okay? They better get that thing together. Whatever type of Space Force you got, man, you better hope. You better hope there ain't no mountains that the Most High gonna throw at you. You ain't gonna know what to do. No, for real. For real, man, they pulled out. They pulled out. And that's symbolic of the blessing that they got. That's symbolic of the blessing that they got. Hold on, let's give it another spin. Get this book another spin. This is symbolic of what they got, man. They got that blessing from our forefather Isaac, man. Let me see here. It's 24. Genesis 27. It's 39. Now, this is the book of Genesis 27. And let's go to 38. And Esau, who said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing? My father bless me, and even also my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of the heaven. Right? So he'll inherit the whole earth. Just like Alexander did. So this is prophecy. Alexander and what's going on now fulfills that prophecy, man. They everywhere, man. They everywhere. And by thy sword thou shalt live. And that's what Alexander was doing with that sword, right? And thou shalt serve thy brother, but in the end they're gonna end up serving us. And it shall come to pass when thou have the dominion, thou shalt break the yoke off from thy neck, right? Because he was under our rule for a little bit. Then he had broke off and did his own thing. Now, as far as, let's see here, Proverbs, kind of getting all over the place here. Rainbow. What is it? Now, he did marry an Ishmaelite woman, though. He did marry that Ishmaelite woman, right? Let's see here. Genesis 28. Let's get Genesis 28. This is what I'm saying, that he mixed himself, right? So let's just recap. You got the Afghans doing that pedophile stuff. That's the same area in antiquity that Alexander the Greek conquered, right? They had to instill some type of culture there and in all these areas that they went to. Because it seemed like it's a learned behavior. They even look like Esau. They got the red hair. They got the different colored eyes. So there was some intermixing going on, right? So this is Genesis 28, verse 8. And Esau, seeing the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac, his father, then Esau went on to Ishmael and took unto the wives which he had Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajoth, to be his wife. So he was marrying different kind of broads, man. He was marrying different kind of broads, and he still do that. You see Esau with that Moabite woman. you see Esau with that Moabite woman like a mug, don't you? He be getting the mail order brides. He don't want to deal with his woman, bro. He definitely don't want to deal with his woman, man. We want to talk stuff about our brothers not wanting to deal with our women. He don't want to deal with his woman. Shoot, marrying Ishmaelite women and all that, Canaanite woman, bro. So don't, man. You saw something else, man. But he mixed and mingled his seed, right? Now, with that, let's get into the pedophilia, though, because this is a part of Alexander the Greek. This is what he brought over to that land too, right? Now, I'm going to read something. Now, in these types of relationships, right, in ancient Greece, right, they were deeply embedded into the social fabric of the time. These relationships involved an older male known as the Eurystheus and a younger male referred to as the Eurymenos, right? And these are some of the rituals and the customs, right? Formalized courtship. The older male, called the Eurystheus, would often court the younger male, called the Euremos, right? Now, it wasn't necessarily children, but they were teenagers, and it stopped supposedly when they were 18. Okay, just to put that in there. So they would basically be giving each other wedding rings and all that. All right. There was public acknowledgement, kind of like how they do in the Afghan, public acknowledgement. These relationships were publicly acknowledged and celebrated. In many Greek city-states. Kind of like Gay Pride Month. So kind of connecting the dots a little bit. Educational. The older male, the Eurystheus, what they call, they served as a mentor, right? So they were like, politics, philosophy, warfare, right? This mentorship was seen as they have no shame at all. Have no shame. No shame. It's a part of their nature. It's a part of their nature. It's just that this is what they do. It's just what they do, bro. If you get that book called The Wild Man, that explains a lot too. That explains a lot too about their nature. Well, we up in the castles. I'm not saying that our people were righteous when it came to the so-called Dark Ages in the 1700s. I'm not saying that. There were a lot of infighting, and all of that too going on. And that's why we got overthrown too, because we had no unity. And I don't think that we were following the law, statutes, and commandments anyway in that time. But you can see pictures of us in castles, black men, black faces, pointing arrows at these men covered in hair, right? Because in Genesis it says that Esau was red and hairy all over, right? But anyway, the military. So this is key right here. In places like Sparta, pederastic relationships were integral to military training. These people are nuts. Fostering loyalty and camaraderie. No wonder why they wouldn't be able to get beat, because striking one of them was like striking one of their lovers. And you're gonna fight hard for the person that you love, for real, right? So they was on another level of that. That's why they were successful, and it was ordained too by the Most High to do all this, right? Because they got blessed with the sword. Festivals. They had festivals, just like this Pride Month is a big festival, right? Some city-states have specific festivals celebrating these relationships. These festivals often included athletic competition, your so-called Olympics and all of that, and other public displays of affection and commitment, right? So if we go, just to put a picture to it, y'all, Well, I'll just go to the thing, man. I know y'all want to see all this nonsense, but no, I gotta show you. All right, just look at that. Look at that. What in the devil is that? Look at all these demons that come out. He damn near look like an Afghan, right? But this is what they do: public displays, man. Public displays, man. Of this stuff, man. Look at this, the Chicago Pride Parade, man. And it was inaugurated in 1970. Gosh darn, man. That's something else. But yeah, man, enough of that. Man, I came to this conclusion that that's probably why And that's why this so-called white man got to stop his rulership. And that's why we got to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, right? And get this thing revved up so the Most High can come back, because he infected the world with this poison. With this poison, man. You know? And it's in pottery, and it's in his poetry, and it's in the sculptures too. And we could see that too in the potteries, in the ancient Greek potteries. So, like I said, man, he does have no shame, right? Does have no shame. And he let's get miscegenation, right? Is what they call it, right? Then we have anti-miscegenation laws. I don't know if I'm saying that right, right? So a black man wasn't allowed to marry a white woman. A black woman wasn't allowed to marry a white man, vice versa, right? So there was laws against that, but that's the law that he lives by. For real, for real. Don't let Jim Crow fool you. You know, that's what he was doing. That's what he was doing. That's why it's like a confusion of face, because you don't know who's really who, because he just went and slept with everybody in the world. You know, there's so-called like Blake Griffin, off the top of my head. He looked like he's white, but he's not. There's actually a woman. There is a blonde white chick. There was a YouTube short, and her dad was a Negro, and she don't look nothing like it. She looked like this. I ain't gonna spoil it. She looked like this. Watch this. This is what I mean. So you gotta be careful though too. Now she look a little bit, you know. You can tell she's kind of a Jake. You can tell she's kind of a Jake, but still, you gotta, you know. Hold on, let me see. You can tell she's kind of a Jake. Talking about Nicole Richie, right? I know the picture's messed up, but they be looking like that, but even more. But that's just, you know, that's Lionel's daughter, right? Married a white blonde woman, right? But that's the confusion of face, man. That's the confusion of face, and it gets even more extreme than that. There's people out there that you might think are white, but are not, but are black. And then you got the opposite too. You got the opposite too. All right. Well, just to give y'all little examples. Just to give y'all little examples of that. Let's get the book of Jeremiah real quick before I get off topic. Okay. Book of Jeremiah. Okay, I like that. Book of Jeremiah. We got the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49 and 10. Damn, time flies so fast. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 49 and 10. Those always gonna be a good one, man. Yeah, I was like worried that y'all were gonna show up on this channel. Now, hey, for Yosefov, because that'll be like way in now, we'll be like 40 minutes in. Next week we'll be back, you know what I'm saying, on the Father channel, or the AOC original channel. All right. So for Q&A, just watch out for this one. All right. So just be tuned in for this one. The water for joining too, for late notice. Really appreciate y'all. But you're not Jeremiah 49 and 10. But I have made Esau bare, and I have uncovered his secret places, man. And he shall not be able to hide himself in places like Afghanistan and Iran and Turkey and the Middle Eastern in general, or the Levant, right? Or wherever he may be, in Mexico. I just you gonna have to actually show me Canelo. I don't care if he fight good. That man got a red beard and he married a so-called, I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it. If we talking about these weird Afghan looking people with red hair could be Esau, then that man, I'm telling you right now, I ain't buying it. So there's a lot of confusion of face going on. But the Most High is going to know. The Most High is going to know. And he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled. his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not. Right? So there's a lot of confusion in the face. There's a long history of intermixing. And with that intermixing comes that messed up culture that he's got. All right. And we talk about no shame. No shame. I got you. Let's get Proverbs 16 and 18. The book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and 18. I do like this. The book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and 18. All right. It says what? It says, pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. So pride goeth before destruction. You take pride that you're doing these unseeming acts, right? And you're haughty. What is another word for haughty? You feel self-important. Your pronouns, right? Say my pronouns. I got a pronoun for you. AIDS. AIDS. That's your pronoun. AIDS. Yeah, that's your pronoun. And that's your shame. And that's going to be your fall, is sickness and disease for messing around with that stuff, man. It's one thing to think about the act because of all the looniness that's going on, especially with our children, but it's another thing to go through with it. You understand? Because that can happen. And if you walk around like it's, like it's the thing to do and you proud about it and you unashamed, right? You might have that. And that might be your pronoun. All right. Stay away from him. that might be monkeypox. Right. Yeah, monkeypox, man. That might be your pronoun. Now, how about that? They, them, yeah, they, them is sick. They, them is going to have their life expectancy cut off, right? But they don't educate them on that, and it's something wrong when you got to take pills to commit an act for what you do to protect yourself. Not pills to stimulate you, pills to protect yourself against, not just a condom. No. All right. So that's I know this is a topic where got to be careful with the language, and that's a shame that I have to self-police my First Amendment right. YouTube, that is a dang shame. And they're living for the now. And the thing is, I gotta sneeze. They're living for the now, but we're living for the what? We're living for the afterlife. We're living for the life after this, right? In the life that's to come, right? It says that Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of a new one in the Apocrypha. Remember that YOLO thing that was going on? You only live once and all these types of things, man. The Bible is about accountability. It's about humility as well. And it's about cause and effects, man. There are consequences for your actions, for every little thing. And that's what makes us so great of a people, because once we learn to master that and master ourselves too, we could be such a light and such an example for not only our people, for the different nations of people. Right? Obviously, they're going to come against us because of that pride, But once they get one of them other pronouns and get that sickness attached to it, then, it's going to be like this, man. It's going to be like this. Pride goes before the destruction, man. And they're going to be brought low. They're going to be brought low, man. They're going to be brought so low with that bad news, test positive, you're going to sink through the couch. Or wherever you're at, you're going to literally be brought low with that bad news. So as a teacher, and our job to be out there to warn the people, that's something that we have to warn the people about, is the consequences for committing these types of things when they make it seem like it's cool, but it's not. It's a trick. It's a trick. It's definitely a trick. All right. Look at hold on, let's get this, because I'm on one. Hold on, let me see. I don't want to say I told y'all, but keep on doing that. But I've been getting these Letitia James commercials. Have y'all been getting these Letitia James commercials? Listen, y'all, I need help. Trump, the white man's after me. Come donate some money to me. It's like, girl, you weren't even about your people the whole time you was in office. You was doing that white woman's bidding. And that white woman ain't here to save you. That's what I keep on telling y'all, black women. Listen, all of this stuff about talking about this self-independent, strong, and all this type of stuff, man, that white woman is laughing in closed doors with her white man. Laughing while some of us go ahead and destroy the family, man. And the same thing with the men too, man. Laughing at the black on black, so-called black on black violence. We're not black, that's the color of the shirt. Obviously, we're different shades of brown, right? But still. Oh, let's see. Can y'all see this? All right, yeah. Look, where does it say her people? Listen. From protecting funding for critical programs like Social Security, that's not our people. To defending immigrants' rights, that's not our people. Standing up for these Americans, unfortunately, some of them are our people, but we know what she's talking about. Letitia James is on the front lines. Man, and they talking about donating $15. Man, you better cut that bull junk out. Man, you better cut that bull junk out, young lady. You've been sitting over here in your little power pulpit, and you're what was she? The Attorney General. You were the Attorney General, man. You had a golden opportunity to reform and to use that seat of power to make some wrongs right. I don't know all what the Attorney General does, but you could have made some wrongs right with our people. All you did was peddle to that damn white woman. And now you gotta beg. Now you gotta beg. On my YouTube screen, you gotta beg. Come on, man. That's nonsense. But that's what our people do, man. Come, let us make covenants with them. For what? To get ahead? To have your little position? Anything that's guaranteed by them could be easily taken away. Anything that's guaranteed by the Most High, you got to really mess up. You got to really, really, really mess up to get that thing taken away. All right. And yet and still you can repent. There you go. That's another one. Listen, ladies, I'm going to tell you right now. I would not be where I was today if I acted like that. Professionally, black men cannot do that. Honestly, the Most High loves y'all so much that y'all can act like that, like ratchet stuff, because I see it too. I be seeing it. But listen, they're for some reason, they turned a new leaf since Trump got in. They don't want that no more. They're calling it black fatigue, right? Now, that white woman's tricky. I told y'all she did it on purpose. She let that ratchet black woman take center stage and annoy and bug the crap out of all these white people. That's what that devil did. I ain't gonna say the B word. That's what that she devil did. I'm telling you right now, I knew it from the jump. She was gonna put the worst of our women out there on display to annoy the crap out of the so-called white man. And it worked. So we'll be seeing her on her way out. But it's, you know, it's just I'm telling the truth. I just know my white people now. I know them. I know them good. I know them well. I could have seen it from a mile. Now I couldn't say it to nobody because everybody would get mad. But for Jasmine, like, what are you doing? What legislation are you writing, man? But you wanna get that MSNB, you want to get that TV money. Yeah, you want to get that TV money. That's okay. Just say that. Just say that you want to get the TV money, and we all good with you. Just say that. That's okay. You gonna get your little biscuit, but it ain't gonna be warm like you think it's gonna be, and it ain't gonna have no butter on it. It ain't gonna have no butter on it. It's probably the leftover biscuit that Letitia got. You know what I'm saying? But haughty pride, man, goes before destruction, man. That self-important righteousness that comes along with this month, man, it will all come crashing down on these folks that participate in it with that pronoun called AIDS or whatever type of sexual transmitted disease. Right. And it tells us in the scriptures, man, to warn our people, to admonish our people. And I'm just doing my part, man. I'm just admonishing my people that might come across that's in the lifestyle that might be coerced, you know, into those things, right? Into those things. Right? Proverbs, say the Proverbs. Let's stay in Proverbs. Let's stay in Proverbs. I'm glad y'all. Hey, man, the politics is my bag, right? We can talk about a lot of different things with the politics and everything. That's my bag. Dang, I lost my train of thought. 11 and 2. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 2. When pride cometh, then cometh shame. Just like the sisters was talking about right here, right? Then they have no shame. They have no shame, but when it happens, then you know what I'm saying? Then it's gonna be woe is me. Then it's gonna be woe is me. And then what happens after that? That's a vicious cycle, isn't it? You do something to somebody, or they do something to you. You get older, you do something to somebody else. They do something to somebody else. You understand? I'm not going to say the act or acts, but you get the point. It's a vicious, it can be a vicious, dark cycle. People don't talk about that. The so-called white man and the so-called white woman with them blue and green hairs, they want y'all to think that it's born. You're born that way. Maybe you, but it's deeper than that. It's a very dark thing, and a lot of it's a learned behavior. Just like how I was talking about the Afghan peoples and that Bakabazi. Doesn't that sound like Bati Boy that the Jamaicans be doing? Sounds just like that. That Bati Boy. I be hearing that, right? From the Benjamite brothers, right? And it sounds just like that. Bakabazi. So it's a Middle Eastern Bati Boy. And it's all a learned behavior from yours truly with the red hair and the blue eyes. You know, I might be going on a limb, but it's a hell of a limb. It's strong too. It's a strong limb to go out on. Pause. All right. Just in case y'all ain't catching me on here. Now, it's another thing that's diabolical. Honestly, I'm gonna get it. Let's get Deuteronomy 23. I'll share the screen. Deuteronomy 20. Oh, come on. Let's get Deuteronomy 23. I want to share the screen on this. Let's get the other ones on. Hold on. Deuteronomy 23. So I like one that has the multiple versions. Oh, 23 and 1. All right. We got it. We got that. I'm glad I'm making y'all laugh. And it's okay, man. It's Friday night. We laughing. We having a good time. Making fun of this kingdom, man. This kingdom is a foolish kingdom, right? And we just calling it out as we see it, man. Listen, diabolical stuff, man. Deuteronomy 23:1. No one who has been emasculated by crushing or cutting may enter the assembly of the Lord. New Living Translation. If a man's testicles are crushed or his is cut off, he may not be admitted. Right? He who is wounded in the stones or have his privy member cut off shall not enter into the congregation of the Most High. Right? And what are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? Hold on, I'll show you. Hold on. I'm not listen, I'm cold with this thing called the internet. Hold on. What are they doing? That's crazy. What are they doing, man? Let's look it up. Let's look it up. So here on this internet, I just put in gender affirming care near me. And you have this type of therapist. You might be able to pull up on a map. Look at that. Look at that. So if you want your privy member cut off, you can go to Marquis Papadoli, a Greek. A Greek. Look at that. Look, I got a sister on there. We're target. A Grecian. You can't make it up. Can you make this up? Can you make it up? Damn Grecian. All right. All around. Got them on the south side too. Planned Parenthood. Wonder where that's at. Wonder where that's at. Wonder where that's at. Wonder where that's at. Come on, man. Wild Hundreds. Right there. Right there. Calumet Park right there. We be around there too. That's 95th right there. Brothers was out all over here for the Hebrew. Someone got the Planned Parenthood right there, man. These are some devils. These are some devils, man. Like the Most High playing with y'all, man. Zachariah says over 100K a month. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. And it's big business now. It's big business for them too. Very big business. Very big business, man. It's wild. It is wild out here. It is definitely wild. And he loves, listen, Esau loves seeing our destruction. He loves it. Loves seeing our destruction. Let's get Psalms 137. He loves seeing it, man. Yeah, he loves seeing this, man. Hold on. Ooh, I gotta break this new Bible open. 137, verse 7. This is the book of Psalms, 137, verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, so-called white men, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. Raise it means destroy it, flatten it. All right? Flatten it. And there's multiple ways to destroy a people. Multiple ways, man. And one of them is by destroying their social fabric, infiltrating the minds, perverting people's minds. You could literally cut a people off by cutting their privy member off, poisoning the food. We are in straight warfare right now. We in a war zone, man. Every single day. Every single day, man. And his grandson, you know, who is a descendant of Esau, he likes to cosplay as a slave master. He owns all the sports teams. I was just reading that the White Sox are about to give their team to another Jew, so-called Jew. All right, who is an Amalekite. All right, hold on, let's get that. Genesis 36. Yeah, the book of Genesis, chapter 36, man. And then the top it says, now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom, right? This is what it says. Like Esau took wives of the daughters of Canaan, Adah, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite, right? And the Alabama, the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Zibeon, the Hivite, and Basemath, Ishmael's daughter, right? And it goes on. But you see how he married different nations of women. All right. And it goes on, and it goes on, and it goes on. Let's get verse 12. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son. And she bare Eliphaz Amalek. And these were the sons of Esau's wife, man. So Amalek is his grandson. Amalek is his grandson, man. All right. Duke Korah, Duke Gotham, and Duke Amalek. These are the dukes that came out of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. So this is some of his lineage, man. This is some of his genealogy. And they do the same things. They got the gay pride parade in Israel, in the Levant, and all these things, man. All these things. Yeah. So, I just wanted to bring that out. I know this class was a little short. All right. Y'all didn't miss much. Y'all was like maybe 10 minutes in and then y'all chimed in. But I just wanted to bring that out real quick, man. And I'll probably see y'all on the Q&A tomorrow. I just want y'all to have a blessed Friday evening Shabbat. The water for all your support. Be on the lookout for the live on this channel, just in case we can't get things going on the other channel. But we'll be back to regular business next week. All right. So I just want to say shalom. May the Most High bless y'all and keep y'all. And I'll see you on the next one. All right.